Alright everybody, what's going on? It's your boy MAKEOUTTEEJ and welcome to another video for today. Now today we've got another tier list. It's about that time. It's been a month. You know, I gotta get a tier list out like, you know, just like that. Cause I just be farming these tier lists. Nah, like I don't mean to be farming them. Like I'll be subconscious and be like, yo, I probably don't need to drop as many tier lists as I do. But I think it's granted because we had some balance changes. We had Ghostface drop. So things have changed a little bit. But before we get into the tier list, make sure you guys drop a sub. I have a goal. I want to get to the end of the year. I want to see if I can get to 1,400 subs. We're at like 1,330, something like that right now. So if we could get like 70 subs before the end of the year, that'd be great. I believe the next DLC character is not dropping until January, and that's going to be T1000 from what I'm hearing. So yeah, it might be a long time before we get a tier list. So if I could get all the support on this, leave a like and everything like that, you know, I would really appreciate it. Especially leave comments. I understand some of you guys might disagree with my takes on these tier lists, but tier lists are all subjective at the end of the day. So if you think your favorite character should be lower or higher, or think someone's being hyped or somebody's being downplayed, let me know. I respond to every single one of my comments because I appreciate you guys engaging and taking the time to leave a comment on my video. So leave a comment where you guys think I might be off or anything like that, and I will definitely respond to you guys. Other than that, make sure you guys follow my socials to make sure you guys can see when I'm going live on Twitch, because I play with viewers. And if you guys want to see a video of me playing against you guys on the channel, like the first 5 or first to 10, make sure you guys come through to the streams. Other than that, let's get to the tier list. Okay, so let's go over the Alright, so let's go over the categories real quick. We've only got 4 categories. As you're gonna see, there are no low tier characters here. That's because I think we've reached a spot in Mortal Kombat 1 where every character is like viable. I don't think anybody in this game is bad. I know some people think Sub-Zero or Raiden or whoever is the worst character in the game and they've got their takes or whatever. But it's gotten to a point where it doesn't seem like anybody's in a terrible disadvantage. Now, of course, there's high tiers. There's tiers for a reason. You know what I mean? There's weight classes for a reason. So yeah, certain characters are definitely better than others, but I think every character right now is in a okay spot. We're gonna kick it off with the mid tier. I'm gonna put these characters up here and I'll let you guys know you know, how I placed everybody. Okay, so for mid tier, we're gonna go from best to worst. We're gonna go Quan Chi. This hurts me to do it, but yeah. We're gonna go Sub-Zero. We're gonna go Raiden, Peacemaker, Takeda. Yes, I honestly think right now Takeda is the worst character in the game. The thing is with Takeda, there's just so many gaps and stuff in his strings. I feel like they need to buff some of his special moves. Like I feel like his strings are like pretty like bad, but you know, me personally, I would just make the back 2-1 string like his bread and butter. I would just make that first hit an overhead. I really would. If you change that to an overhead and you also have the low shooting stars, you up the recovery on the shooting stars and stuff like that, I think you're really gonna open the character up. Those are the 2 big changes I think Takeda needs. Peacemaker, for one, he's a character that basically got gutted back in Kombat Pack 1, and he hasn't really ever seen any love since. I would hope he gets back to what he used to. I actually think him having the force field was, you know, it was kind of busted a little bit, but I think if they could find a nice middle ground, because what it was originally when he came out was crazy with the startup frames on it and the longevity of how long it lasted, and now what they did with him is completely just made the move useless. I don't even see Peacemakers use it anymore. So I think they need to get back to using, you know, find a middle ground for him and stuff like that, because I think his kit is pretty good with his normal moves and stuff like that. I just think we've got to get somewhere with getting him back closer to his identity. Raiden, I'm gonna just put Raiden here. I don't think Raiden is as bad as he is. If it was me personally, I would probably put him low high tier, but people have just been so adamant that Raiden is one of the worst characters in the game, and for that, actually, I'm going to move him up. I'm gonna move him to the top of mid tier. I'm not going to keep him as low because of what other people say. I honestly don't think he is that bad. I think he's right on the cusp of mid tier or high tier or something like that. Like he's as close as it gets. I think Raiden just has really good, you know, normals. I think his overhead is unreactable. He's got the low strings. I feel like everybody just runs Serena or Jax with him, which is very annoying because that was the day 1 meta team with fucking Mortal Kombat, and I hate it. I hate every time I go against it. He's probably one of my least favorite characters to go against. And like I said in my previous tier list, if my hatred for him is strong, he's a good character, okay? Sub-Zero got a little bit of buffs with his clone. I know his clone throw game has been increased because they increased the hit region of the clone. You can actually sometimes put the clone up in the air, and if somebody walks, they can't, you know, walk under it if you put it correctly. So the clone is pretty good. He jumps back further on it, so it's harder to punish him and stuff like that. And I know he has the special with the clone where you can get frozen 3 times. So I don't know how much that is going to be useful as far as combo extension. I haven't really seen too much of it yet. This tier list is actually coming out very, very soon after the fucking, you know, the Ghostface update. So I might be a little bit off, but you know, things will play out. I might even drop another tier list next month, motherfucker. I might. If you guys can get this video to 10 to 15 likes, then yeah, I'll definitely think about dropping another tier list 2 to 3 weeks from now. Quan Chi, whatever, man. This dude's fucking dog shit. Like, I could have swore Ed Boon put on a list of what characters need to be buffed and what characters need love and stuff like that. I could have swore it was a list that consisted of Geras, Havoc, Sub-Zero, Quan Chi, and maybe somebody else on there. Was it Natara at the time? Out of all those characters that I know were listed per, like, I know for a fact they were listed, with Natara, Havoc, Elite, even Sub-Zero has gotten little buffs. I don't think Quan Chi has gotten jack shit, and we really need, like, bro, what are we waiting on? Sub-Zero got updates, Natara, Havoc got updates. I mean, Geras is getting updates every fucking month. Like, where is Quan Chi's updates or his buffs, man? We need them, man. We do. But with that being said, let's move on to high tier. And we're gonna go worst to best on this one. We're gonna go Geras, Shang Tsung, Kung Lao, Reptile, Rain, Shao Kahn, Smoke, Baraka. Not a lot of changes. There's been some changes here with the characters, especially with Geras. He's got a lot of special move buffs. Geras is on the way of climbing up. I have like a constant tier list going on in my head, like week to week to week. This is only 1 week after his updates, and I've already pulled him out in mid tier. I think he is a solid character. So he listen, in a few weeks to a month, Geras could find himself somewhere in the middle ground of this high tier. I'm thinking like with the updates he can have, if we learn more stuff, he could be right at the top of high tier. Another one that's changed, Smoke. Smoke got a lot of changes, but I haven't really seen too much of the game plan change with Smoke. So I'm still waiting to see how that fleshed out. I think Smoke could eventually go to top tier. I know you guys are seeing, oh shit. I know you guys are seeing initially where I'm placing these people on this tier list. Like I said, there's room for improvement. We're just barely, not even a week at the time of me recording this, through the Ghostface update. So like I said, there's room for improvement. Just relax, man. You know, like, what's the problem? Tell me what the problem is. Leave a comment below. I will give you my reasoning if I don't articulate myself well enough in this goddamn video. You know what I mean? I get a lot of hate for Rain. But I keep getting a lot of hate for Rain, but I'm not seeing it, dog. I'm not seeing nothing with Rain. I feel like Rain has been stagnant and stale for 3 to 4 months. The only thing that has really changed him over the past few months was when they accidentally reverted Cyrax, and that kind of boosted him up a little bit. But other than that, I don't see much going on with Rain. General Shao is one of those characters. I think he's up next for some big buffs. He and Rain have been very stagnant. I think we need some changes with them. I think those are one of the characters that haven't changed too much since launch. I know Shao has had minor changes here, and Rain even had new moves and cancels added to him. I forgot about that, but I don't think it really did much for him. Baraka is just a, you know, they got rabies, man. I'll say it again. Any Baraka players out there, y'all got anger issues. You have to. You have to have anger issues. I promise you, in Combat League, I had a fucking time in Combat League today. I lost like 5 games in a row. 3 of them were Barakas. And I tell you, when you get those Barakas in a first best 2 out of 3 and it goes to that final game in that final round, I'm telling you, they are the most, like, they don't give a fuck no more, man. They really don't. And part of me kind of wants to put Baraka a little higher tier. Yeah, I might. Let's get on the top tier. Let's see how it goes. All right, let's go worst to best. Li Mei, Tanya, Omni-Man. Baraka is moving up to top tier. Katana, Melina, Sector, Ghostface, Noob Saibot, Cyrax, Ashra, Liu Kang, Havoc, Ermac. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna swap these two. I'm gonna go Havoc, then Ermac. How about that? All right, so big ones. Let's go ahead and just get the, you know, let's talk about the man of the hour. Let's talk about Ghostface. I'm probably gonna drop a video talking about how good Ghostface is, like, later on after he's been fleshed out and stuff. I think we're getting to the point where people are finding out most things of what they're doing with Ghostface. Ghostface is a character that has a lot of strengths, a lot of weaknesses. For one, he is a mix-up machine. If he can get on you, he has basically 3-way mix-ups depending on the cameo. He has the overhead, he has the low, and he has the command grab. And with a lot of cameos, especially Scorpion and Movado, he can combo off of all three of them. So that makes him very scary. The biggest flaw he has though is if you have a very decent projectile or keep away game, like characters like Katana, Ashra. I haven't played against, I would say a Shang Tsung, a Sub-Zero, a Takeda, a Reiko. Characters like that will give him a little bit of a hard time because they have very good forward advancing strings that can keep him at a distance. And that's mainly his biggest flaw. It's kind of, I get, he's a serial killer and he chases you and stuff. And the main thing you want to do, just like the fucking dumbass characters in the movie, is you want to run away and stay away from him. You want to just stay away from him, right? If he can get within close range of you, he has very good neutral and stuff like that. So I would put him in the middle of top tier. This is probably the safest place to put him. Once people fully learn the matchup, and like I said, people are starting to learn the matchup, he may go up higher, it might go lower. And the biggest deficiency with him is, like I said, he is probably one of the worst characters dealing with counter zoning in the game. And you almost have to use a bar of meter like on the phone call move, and you have to like switch for it to actually to get a teleport or something like that. That's pretty good. Let's see who else. I think I had Tanya on the tier list low before. She's definitely not like top 5 or top 10 like she used to be, but she's still very good. You can still get away with a lot of Tanya stuff. And for me, when Pharah got nerfed, I kind of overreacted and I put her like mid tier or something like that. There's still other very good Tanya teams out there, like Tanya Chameleon, Tanya Motaro, Tanya Jax. So there's a lot of, great Tanya teams, and even Tanya Pharah is still good. You just can't do like the brain dead, wake up with armor, Tanya Pharah bullshit. I moved Baraka up because the Baraka Kano team has basically became his best team, and it allows masters to mash. So all you Raby, anger management, hostile, aggressive Black Air Force Barakas, you guys, I hope you're happy, motherfucker. I hate y'all. I really do. Is there a way I can block a fucking character? I don't want to play no Barakas. Watch, one day I'm gonna play a Baraka in the first of 10 and this monitor is gonna be flipped like this, motherfucker. I promise you, it's gonna be flipped like this and my controller's gonna be slammed like this. Where was I? Katana, Melina, not too many changes there. And I think the other one is Cyrex. The Cyrex is the big change. Was up like top 2 before, definitely not top 2. The neutral is just not there. The whole vortex idea, it is still very tough to deal with. Yeah, definitely Cyrex is in theory, it is a very good character, but if you can get around her neutral and stuff like that and kind of get up there and beat her fucking ass, she's not as good as some people think, but she is still possibly like right in the top 10. Havoc, I kind of buffed up a little bit. This basically puts him in the top. It's pretty close between him and Ermac. Ermac is also one of those characters that give Ghostface a huge problem with that goddamn suction mid. I hate that shit. Yeah, that like these two characters are slowly climbing up, and Ermac is one of those characters. I feel like at one point he could be in the top 5. He's missing like maybe 1 or 2 things that could keep him out of the top 5 or top 3. Seriously, like Ermac is that good. Like I said, he's just missing a few things. If he gets a few more adjustments or a few more things that help his cameo or a cameo that helps him out, that's it. I'm telling you. Other than that, I think everybody else is pretty straightforward. If you guys have any questions about any placements, just let me know in the comments. Let's go on to the top 7. All right, we're gonna go from worst to best. We're gonna go Reiko. I'm gonna go over each of these one at a time so you guys don't get fucking spoiled. Right, Reiko is one of those characters I don't think he will ever be out of the top 8, top 10 in the game, just because he has one of the best projectiles in the game. He has one of the best mids. He's got the command grab. Tremor Reiko team got even better because his forward 2 is basically a combo starter now. So I might even move him up a little bit more over this guy, Homelander. Now, I'm actually going to keep Homelander right here at bottom 7, but he is in the top 7. So his forward 4 getting murfed. Oh, I'm so stupid. I don't know why I have a channel. Gosh, I'm so hard on myself. His forward 4 getting nerfed into a into a mid is definitely a nerf, man. It's a brutal nerf because I think it, you know, neutralizes his mix-up, and I think that's what the character was. But he still has the command grab mix-up along with the overhead. You know, don't be surprised. Homelander Chameleon and stuff like that. Homelander Farah, they're still very good teams, so don't get too lost in the sauce. He got nerfed, but he's not fucking mid-tier, high-tier. He's still one of the best characters in the game. Up next, I have Sindel. Sindel in the top 5. Now, I think before Sindel was not in the top 5, that's because I think Homelander and Cyrax were in there, but now with them being bumped out, Sindel is definitely up there in the top 5. Her best 2 teams are Sindel Lau, Sindel Tremor. They are just a pain in the ass to deal with. Everybody knows how Sindel plays, but we know about Sindel. Do I have to talk about her too much? I just random thing here. I like the MKX design better. You know, I like the MK11 design better. It's just something about this Sindel I'm not a big fan of. You know, maybe I like the Evil Empress. I don't like this goody two-shoes shit. Up next we have Natara, and it's close between her and the next person that's going to be on this list. Natara is just insane. And I know some people hate on Natara, but I just love watching Natara because she's such a hyper bitch, man. And it's Megan Fox, man. Her voice acting sucks, but it's still Megan Fox. Nah, seriously, like, I really want to see more Natara play because Natara is just so fun to watch. It's one of those things where she reminds me so much of MKX, just of how hyper she was. Like, my favorite character one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat history, Kung Lao in MKX, all 3 variations. So when I see a character zipping around and doing a whole bunch of crazy shit, man, it just reminds me of that character. So maybe I'm a little bit biased, but she's just so strong when it comes to her overhead low mix up, basically both being able to go into combo starters, and now you can even do more things with her and Sonya. It's just so good, man. It's so fucking good. Next on the list is Scorpion. Scorpion is number 3. Scorpion is, listen, when you say like brain dead shit, Scorpion's up there. It's crazy because Scorpion used to be considered one of the worst characters in the game, and one cameo comes through and completely makes him one of the most busted characters in the game. It's crazy. Scorpion Farah is crazy, and Scorpion Mataro is really good too, but Scorpion Farah is exactly what he needed. He needed a character that gives him a low combo starter or be able to open up opponents, and that's what she does. I've already spoken enough about Scorpion, so I'm not gonna go too far into it. Scorpion is number 3. Number 2, I don't give a fuck what nobody says. The game's been out for a year. The game's been out for this long, whatever. I still struggle with Kenshi, man. I still do. It's just scary. It's scary just, you know, getting fucking jumped. Does anybody like getting jumped? No. Okay. No, they don't. I feel like Kenshi always gonna be a top 3, top 5 character, unless other characters just get buffed and they're just broken as fuck. But just with this kit, like I said, with Sento and the things that you could do in true block strings and stuff like that, there's not much you can really do with Kenshi unless you know, nerf the true block strings. It makes some gaps in there to be able to defend yourself like you should be in a fighting game. There's not much you could really do with him to make him keep his identity without him being like, you know what I mean? Because you can't completely nerf Sento into the ground because it's like that's what Kenshi is, you know, using Sento. So I love seeing Kenshi's play. I hate playing against him, but it's what it is. And number 1, do we even need to go into it too much? It's Johnny Cage. I think Johnny Cage was number 2 for me before. I can't do anything with the forward advancing 9-frame mid. A 9-frame fucking mid. It still blows my mind to this day. And I don't know how long it's been like that, but Jesus, man. Johnny Cage, you know what? I'm not even gonna give him all the time. If you guys think somebody else is top 1 in the game, let me know in the comments below, and leave a comment, let me know how they are better than Johnny Cage. Also, rate this tier list on a scale of 1 to 10. This is the final tier list. Let me know what I got wrong. Let me know what you agree with. Like I said, I'll respond to all the comments. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me, man. I hope you guys don't get too mad at me. I'm just making tier lists. I'm just doing my job. This is not my job. I don't make enough money for it to be my job. Hopefully one day, I would love that. Can we get to 1,400 subs? I feel like I'm asking a lot of favors, and now I'm being bashful, even though it's my channel. And now I'm rambling. Mind you, I have this coat on because I just came from outside. It was like 40 degrees. Now I walked in this room, and now it's 88 degrees. All right, I'll catch you guys later.